Hey everybody, one thing I thought would be interesting to take a look at is how well the CROM USA PC Carbine chassis matches the dimensions of the Mossberg 500, since part of the appeal behind it is you can put a Mossberg 500 stock on it. So you can see up top I've got one of my Mossberg 500s, and on the bottom I've got a Ruger PC Carbine and CROM chassis, and both of these have the exact same stock, the Hogue overmold, 12-inch length of pull. So let's first go ahead and measure the length of pull between these two. And if I take my tape measure, put it on the face of the trigger, and measure straight back on the PC Carbine, I get a hair under 12 inches, like 11 7/8. And then if I do the same on the Mossberg, I have the same, just about 11 7/8. One thing I am noticing though is it looks like on the Mossberg 500 the stock is angled slightly downward a bit more versus on the PC Carbine it comes like straight back a bit, and you can kind of see that in the curvature of these grips here. This one ends up being a little bit more vertical or maybe even pointed forward at the tip, versus this one points a little bit more straight down. If I take a look at the distance from the face of the trigger to the forward edge of the grip on both the Mossberg 500 and the CROM PC Carbine chassis, the dimensions do differ a bit. On the CROM PC Carbine chassis, it's about 3 1/16 inch, and on the Mossberg 500, I am seeing 2 3/4. And this matches pretty well with how I feel it is when I pick it up myself. I do feel like I have to reach a little bit more with my index finger going from the grip to the trigger. I find the reach slightly long, but very tolerable. For reference, I wear a size 8 glove, so if you have larger hands than mine, which I'm sure a bunch of you do, it's probably no problem at all. And if you have smaller hands than mine, well, this may be something to think about. Additionally, you'll notice that this little tab in the chassis extension protrudes a bit with this Hogue stock, versus it's slightly recessed to flush on the Mossberg 500. And when you just pick up the firearm on its own, this does feel a little bit intrusive, but when I was out on the range using it, I honestly forgot about it pretty quickly, and that was without using gloves, so it's not really a big deal. So in conclusion, looking at these two, even though the CROM USA PC Carbine chassis can accept Mossberg pattern stocks, you shouldn't expect to have the same grip fit that you would on a Mossberg 500 when you're using those stocks on this chassis.